Didn't. No, it is. But I don't mind having like a one-on-one conversation with you and just being like, because I did it with all like my leaders, because I was like, I think I sat there yesterday and I read and reread and read it again. And I'm like, for a director like who's kind of like, to senior director in 2 months, it's kind of like, oh, that's really not attainable. But who is it attainable for? It should be really easy for like a regular, I'm not saying like a regular stylist, but somebody who has never recruited before, right? Because they probably haven't even mentioned it to anybody. So think about how powerful that could be. You know what I mean? So
and then you're the numbers girl, but not to interrupt, but then creating all these new senior stylists is going to create possibly in the leg that senior director that thought it was not attainable.
You're going to be a lot
closer. When I actually think in theory, this business
and that's why,
built
and that's
on
why I
like
reached out.
senior stylists. Do you know what I mean? When you start creating a lot of little senior stylists, lots of things can happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. If you really kind of like reverse engineer it for us, because we're all leaders, right? So we have like our goals are a little bit harder to attain because we just need that many more people, that much more volume, right? But for the people that could really attain this are the BQ and look to make sure if you do not have a stylist that has never BQ'd, right? If you look, you can look and see, if you go into the VO and you just go underneath like the person's name. So if you go to the graphical tree and then you just hit the person's name, I'm just gonna like hit somebody here, just so I'm telling you the step-by-step guides. If you go to, well, actually, if you just click on their tree, like just that person themselves, it'll say their current rank and their highest rank. And then it'll tell you their status, if they're active or if their credit cards declined. So if their credit cards declined, they are no longer, so you don't have to reach out to those people. But if it still says active and it says the highest rank is stylist and not BQ stylist, get on it. Because if you—
Is there not a report we can run for that? Or do you have to do it individual?
I don't know.
There is a report. Yeah, there's a report you can run. You can go to custom reports.
Yeah, I'm looking now.
Under your team.
And it'll
just
be
do like highest rank.
Highest rank. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, because it would be a lot if you go through every single person. But so do that.
Well, and I know you could, when you're looking at certain legs and you want to start there, that would be very simple. I'm understanding that. But then I was thinking you could run the report and then just highlight people and just make sure you touched everybody.
Yeah.
Well, I know Heather and I plan on going live in my team tomorrow. We'd like to go live together and do shout outs and stuff at the beginning of every month for the previous month. And I know we planned on touching on this subject, but I definitely think that reaching out would be a great idea to each individual person, but I'd love to get a little bit more, I don't know, guidance or direction of what you exactly shared, Margaret, and like how you shared it to those you did reach out to, because unless I misheard, I thought you said you already reached out to them today.
I reached out to my leaders.
Oh, your leaders, okay.
Yeah, and we're like breaking it down because some people have a lot of people. If you have like 90 people on your team, I'm like, all right, who other leaders on your team that you feel like are, speaking to their downline, which everybody should be, but unfortunately that's not the case, right? So I'm even reaching down. So I said, I will split it with you. Tell me who you want to reach out to. I will personally reach out and we'll kind of like divide and conquer. And then I think what we're going to do is just whoever wants to kind of go for it, we'll create just a message thread for those people. And then I have particular leaders that we're going to go on a group thread and we're going to say, all right, what are the action items that we can give these people that really want to recruit or even bonus qualify for the first time, right? So we're going to kind of work together for the next 60 days to really kind of give these people actionable items. Now, when you give the actionable item to do, we're not chasing people. You're going to say, here's the action, right? Tell us, or you come back to the message thread and say done. Because I'm not going to have time to be, oh, did you do it? Did you do it? Did you do it? Everybody's an adult. If they want it, they want it. If they don't, they don't, right?
So I can tell you, Janelle, was it you that was asking? I mean, I can tell you what I wrote, but it's nothing fancy. It's literally, hi, do you want to go for senior stylist? If you hit senior stylist this month or next month, you will get a bonus. I'm happy to help you.
Mm-hmm.
That was it.
And we can do that. Like, that's why I'm creating that new leader thread tomorrow, guys, so we can all talk together and we can break down, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Like who you want to talk to, like if you do want me to reach out to anybody, whatever.
Yeah, and I think too, like let's all kind of like band together, like whoever wants to do stuff like this, like we could, you know what I mean? Like I have like 1, 2, I think I have 4 leaders that are like, yeah, I would love to do something like this, but I almost don't know where to start. And I said, why don't we just get on a message thread and we're going to help each other out. There's plenty of resources that we have. We can even say, check out this Tuesday training, right? Do this, like, you know, get out your Frank's list. Like it's everything we already know, but maybe somebody doesn't know it, you know what I mean? Or they just need that support of, oh, okay, here's a group of women, you know, that are going to try to lift me up. So we can absolutely be all on the thread together trying to come up with stuff. Or if we think like, oh, that could be too much, because I know some people are like, I can't do another message thread. You know what I mean? So it's you know, it's always open, you know what I mean, to anyone and everyone. And Michelle, I can talk to you about that too. You know what I mean? Like if you,
because if
it's almost too many of the leaders all in one, or if
well, like I'm not on your leader thread, you know,
right.
So, right. And I think it's kind of good that, you know, not that, you know, but the 2 leader legs, you and I, and then we come together as a group, I think is great. Cause you don't, you don't want it to be so overwhelming or, but yeah. And I mean, everything, that's one thing too. Like I'm not on hers, but since you and I talk, we bring the things together. So there's no, you're not going to be ever missing out on anything.
Right. So questions?
No, and then all I did was follow up with everybody and just say that I'm going to start a message thread or a mini chat with action items for everybody who wants to rank up or get bonuses. So we could all work together.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I told my teammates. So that's going to be separate than the team leaders here.
Yeah. Because you're going to have whoever's on your team, I would assume like on a message thread. I mean, you don't have to, but you don't want to individually be giving people action items. That's just going to take you too long. Like you got to work smarter. You know what I mean? So I would say like a message thread. And some people might not want to do that either. And I
found if I put it in the main message thread, some of them get overwhelmed.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. But it's a lot of extra cash. I mean, somebody who's a senior stylist going to team leader getting an extra $300, or going from $300 to $600, like that's a lot.
Well, and then if they sell, like this is the month to sell too. Like you're total this is the month to hit enhanced commission. So you get enhanced commission, and then you get bonus cash too, plus your $300 for a team leader. Like, well, that's a lot of money.
It absolutely is.
Plus your commissions off your sales, or, you know, regular. So
yeah. But if anybody else has any questions or anything, just.
Yeah, well, let's just hit it. So now I was thinking about that. You can get Circle of Excellence cash. Mm-hmm. You can get Dash cash. I'm going to put.
Mm-hmm. And 5% bonus.
The 5% bonus plus enhanced commission.
Mm-hmm. So actually there's not 4 ways, there's 5 then.
Well, and then your 25% commission, just regular commission.
Yeah, base commission.
1, 2,
base
3,
commission,
yeah.
enhanced commission,
5.
dash for cash bonus, rank promotion, circle of excellence, and somebody new, add jump starts. That's a lot of ways to earn cash for the holidays, right? That's amazing. So do we want to go over recognition as well?
Yeah.
Do you want to lead this one?
Oh, remember I said this is all you tonight. Well, I mean, I would like just an open forum because I know, especially now that, you know, we are kind of, you know, that we're merging into this one united team, which I love. It's like a little island, like an exclusive island, Nail Republic. That's what I think of.
Lots of
like the Dominican Republic. We've got the Nail Republic. Okay. That's where we're all going and headed. But carrying it over there, you know, Margaret does the regular things that we recognize for, but we were talking even before and I just would love to hear from everybody else first too. Like, what other things do you think we could recognize in the team for? Because you know, it does feel good to be, you know, heard, seen, and not always for sales or ranking or whatever. So I'd love to just, if anybody has anything.
Everybody's like,
colorversaries are always, you know, kind of easy recognition.
So like I ended up shouting out like one of the girls on my team, and what I tried to do was actually make it a little bit more personal. I'm just saying, like, you know, she works at Children's Hospital in Boston. She's been doing it all through COVID, and like, kudos to her, because like, it has been super, super stressful, right? Like, she's going to work, she's dealing with COVID patients, coming home to her family saying, am I going to give it to them? Not seeing her parents for like a year and a half, because there was no way that she was going to be willing to do that. Right. And like, that to me is like, she should be recognized. Not only that, I want other people on the team to be like, oh, I didn't know she was in the medical field. Like, you know what I mean? So-and-so is in the medical field. Or we could shout out somebody who's like a hairdresser, or, you know what I mean? Like, get it like a little bit more personal than just like, hey, she rank advanced, or she did this. Like, I feel like all of us are leaders. We all should know our team members kind of like what's going on in their lives. You know what I mean? Like, or at least a little bit, you know, and if not, why not reach out to somebody and say, hey, how are you doing? I haven't heard from you in a while. How's life? You know, and see what they say, and then shout them out on the page and just be like, hey, like, I just chatted to Heather, and you know, blah, 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 whatever she said. And Heather just said, when someone is super helpful, goes above and beyond, always offers ideas, most encouraging, we should be looking for the little things. And I absolutely agree. Absolutely. You know, if like, there's some leaders that will be like, hey, I'm doing this in my VIP group, you know, and it might not be something that you want to do, but for them to come onto the team page and offer that, saying like, hey, I did this and this worked, like, they should be shouted out for that. Like, hey, thank you so much for sharing. Like, maybe what I'm doing is not going to resonate with somebody, but maybe what she's doing is that's going to resonate with somebody. And how cool is that? Like, that's awesome. So that's my 2 cents again. I'm talking too much. How about you guys?
Well, no, and we brought it up because I don't want ever, and I said this to Margaret too, I don't want to ever be like that I'm not empathetic at all, because I'm not, but sometimes I struggle sometimes with when, you know, you're having that. And I think, you know, and I'm going to try to work on that, but I think, you know, it even goes back to, you know, just more of everyone else too sharing, like not just me, but everyone sharing everyone sharing and posting. You know, and I don't mean posting, but like, you know, if you have something great or we talk about it, then yeah, you know, come on, let's share it. And I'll be like, yeah, you know, so-and-so like is doing like rocking these parties out, you know, whatever. And, but yeah.
Don't ever feel bad. Like you should always feel super comfortable going on Team Nail Republic and posting obviously positive posts, of course, you know, anytime you want. Like it does, you don't need to be approved. If you are willing to share something, absolutely, hands down, you go for it. Like I think that's awesome. You know, we're all a team. So I haven't heard.
So should I go get her?
No, I don't think so. I think she'll text me. And then like the recognition, because there are so many of us, how do we do it so that there's not like 5 in one day and then nothing for like a week?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I guess are you talking even for the little things? Because I think that should just be whenever, all the time. And maybe.
So here's the thing. How about like, if somebody already did something, maybe you could just wait for like the next day. Cause I just kind of feel like if we have so many in one day, people will be like, does that sound okay? Or is that too complicated?
I mean, I just think whenever, right? And we'll see what happens. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, without the question as when or what we should post about, I think it should be whatever, like, that you see somebody doing good on.
Yeah, and I think it'll build like community and it'll build relationships with like other people, like sideline people, right? So not so much, you know, like, of course, Michelle and I are on the same team, right? Like we're all on Nail Republic, but we're not in like the same, whatever you call it, legs, right? So some people might know each other and some people don't, you know? So it's really great when you learn something about somebody and you can reach out and say, oh my God, like, how did you do this? Because like, I know like a lot of my leaders, like I have 2 leaders that aren't on the same leg, but they're like besties now. And I'm like, that's so awesome. Like, I love that, you know? And that's kind of what we want for everyone, because to have like accountability, I mean, Michelle and I talk, I don't even know how many times a day, like probably too much, but it's so awesome to have that. And I would love for everyone on the team to have it, you know what I mean? Because it is just so important to have that. I'm calling it a sideline sister, but whatever you want to call it, you know? So do we all need like a drink or something? I feel like everybody's like,
yeah, no, I think recognition, the more, the better.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And I really wish, like, we've tried so many times to find people, you know, like they almost like want us to find it for them. But I feel like if you would just post and engage in the group, like think of it like your VIP group, everybody engages. And then there are people that in your group, like I've seen friendships develop even inside my group because people are just talking and engaging, whatever. That should be like that on the team page. So then when you are like, or you did something awesome, so you shared it and then somebody else was like, man, that's cool. You know, they like the way you think. And then all of a sudden, boom, maybe you guys are the pacing partners or whatever you want to call it. And I just don't think there's enough of that. There's not enough engagement and back and forth talking to get to know each other. Cause then like you would reach out and be like, you know, for whatever you need help with or whatever. And I really would like to encourage that more because I do believe in that. And it just happens that, I mean, and I don't think because we're leaders, I mean, Margaret and I were, you know, good friends in another business, you know, thing after that. And I think we just were extremely similar and it just worked out that way. But I'm sure there's many people, and I don't know if I can always play the like matchmaker, I feel like that's something, if we could get them in and just people talking to each other and engaging together, they could find their person maybe that way,
But even like funny things, like, or like you went out and had an amazing margarita, like take a selfie of yourself and put it on the team page and be like, where are my margarita girls? Because this shit was awesome tonight. Like, because you might have like a whole bunch of people being like, me, I like salt, I like sugar, like whatever. But it builds that community that I feel like we're kind of lacking a little bit. Because like, even though it's a team page, you, just like Michelle said, it's almost like a VIP group. What's going to keep people coming back, right? Like, we're recognizing like recruiting, we're recognizing sales, but how about like really like rooting each other on?
I really like that idea of even, posting more in their personal stuff too. And it won't be over. It's just a way for us.
I never knew we could do that. Like, I kind of thought we weren't supposed to. And I'll tell you that as I got busier, I pulled away from the team page because there's only so many comments I can do, and I got to do what makes me money. Not that I don't like you people.
Right? But here's the thing though. So like, I went on that senior executive trip, right? Now I knew 2 girls out of the 50 before I went, right? Because they were on Team Nailed It. So like, but it was because like I was in the team, and you know what I mean? Like, I've been in the team for a long time. So I knew the girls that we were all, like, I was ranking with. Now there's like, what, 15,000 people there? Like, if I wasn't in there communicating with a whole bunch of different people, I might have went on the trip and like, oh my God, I don't know anybody. Not that that was a big deal, but because I had that like sideline sister, it was like so cool. So think about that, right? Like, you're at conference and you're walking down the hall and you're like, oh my God, there's Janelle, holy crap. Like, you know what I mean? Like, think about that feeling that you get when you meet people in person and you really get to know them.
And I do want to say something to that too, because I mean, yes, like your business is the most important first, just like the oxygen mask, you got to put it on before you can take care of everyone else. But I can tell you that I'm not saying your business personally, but your business will flourish the more we engage and help one another. Because I see that even in little mini, and I don't mean be there all day long, every day, but like, just if you feel like sharing something, great. If something resonates with you, comment on it, or whatever. And I think, because I think people stay away a little bit sometimes because it is so just business, this, where let's make it a little bit more personal, and I don't mean a little more personal, like keep sharing, but a little more engagement.
No, I agree. I'll work on that.
No, but do you know what I mean? Because then you will see your business will grow.
I totally agree. I'm not,
because of a stronger community. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Because people won't always be going to you for the answer.
Yeah.
Start going to other people. You know what I mean? And they'll get ideas from other people. So, because like, believe me, I'm like, the way I run my business isn't the same way as Michelle runs hers, or Janelle or Diane, right? But we've all taken bits and pieces from each other and been like, oh, I'm going to try that next. That's like right up my alley. You know what I mean? So it is like, if we build like a bigger community of people and start sharing things, it can be powerful,
And I agree with what Heather wrote, that, looking for the little things people do, because it is those being very specific with recognition.
Yeah, because somebody said to me, you go and you recognize everybody that bonus qualifies and enhanced commission and recruits. But what about that person who went for no and didn't get the party? How about the person who asked 10 people and didn't get the sign up? It doesn't mean that they're not working their business. They just haven't hit the goal yet. But we should recognize that, right? Like, because we don't want them to start feeling bad about themselves. They're really trying. They're putting in the effort. They're putting in the work. and they just haven't gotten there yet, right? There hasn't been enough seeds planted until they can get there. But we want to be able to lift those people up so that they keep on going until they do get there, you know? So I just kind of feel like it's so important that, you know, we are recognizing that kind of stuff, you know? Gouda?
So quiet.
Again, I agree.
I know, it is quiet.
Have you guys considered that when we have our VIP page and we sign up new stylists, we discourage the post and pray method, right? We discourage that. We don't want them to just post in a VIP group and expect that that's going to create relationships. But I feel like that's what those large groups are. They're all post and pray, right? I mean, I don't even know the majority of the people on our team. I couldn't tell you who, you know, I don't even know who all the people on this call are.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I've been around, I don't more than 2 years, you know, I try to be interactive on everybody's groups. And Michelle and I have talked about this a bunch of times. Like, I think a lot of those, there's too many, there's just too many pages. There's too many to keep up with, especially if you know, I don't even have like a full-time 9 to 5, you know, my husband and I have a small business. I kind of work on my terms, but it's a lot to keep up with. So there's just too many. And when it becomes that whole, like, it's all about, you know, there's 18 posts about all the stylists at BQ today, and that's great. And we want to celebrate that. Absolutely. But I feel like those kinds of things should be celebrated on the lower levels. So like, I don't know, like 6-8 months ago, I totally just revamped everything. And I left a lot of the groups. I left a lot of the chats because it was just noise for me and I didn't feel like I was getting anywhere. And so I turned around and refocused, and I created a small chat group with the girls on my teams that were working. And when they BQ, we call each other out in the chat. I send them a little crown, because we call it being queen, that I got off Etsy for like, I don't know, $3 for 10 or whatever. So I send them a little card each month as they BQ. And since I started doing kind of that personal one-on-one small group interaction, it's really grown. So I got rid of my small team page because it's just more noise. And, you know, you know, Michelle and I have talked about this a lot. You know, I'm in the same boat as you are, Michelle. It's frustrating, right? Because you really are that person that wants to give back. You want to hug everybody and tell them great job. You want to congratulate everybody. But when it becomes noise, nobody's paying attention anymore. And I really think that's where it's at with, it's not that you guys don't have the heart of gold to do it, but if all we're doing is posting, you know, these are the BQs for September, these are the, you know, the $1,200 for, that's great. I mean, I think it's great. And I think those things need to be recognized, but it just becomes noise. It has to be more personal than that, than just a post and pray. We have to create relationships within those groups. And I mean, I have I don't even know whose team she's on somehow in our group, and we've become besties. Like, we chat.
Oh, Carrie, that's my girl.
Jen.
My girl. Who?
Carrie too, but Jen, I have Jen and Carrie. Well, Jen and I are like this, and then Carrie came in and wrapped around the rest of it. Like,
which Jen?
Marceau.
Or
Marceau. Oh, okay. Yeah. Just there's so many Jens.
Her name is different, and she has 2 different names. So
gotcha. No, I was just curious because
it's Paige. It's Marceau, but it's Paige. That's why I was
yeah. I know, but that's it.
And Carrie too. Carrie and I have branched off because Jen and I are exactly alike. Like, we are exactly alike. And then Carrie's kind of our polar opposite. So it's good that the 3 of us get together in a group, and then Jen and I have our side group, and Carrie and I have our side group. And it's really helped me a lot to have those conversations.
And I would love to see that happen more often, because it is, you need, like, we all love to connect. And that was even the reason to come over to Nail Republic. And even though it's big, but it's a community, and within there, you're going to find your people, and we're all going to have our people. And then together we can just have, you know, one great big happy family and really get to know each other, you know? So when we see each other at conference or trips or whatever, you know, it won't be, I don't know that person, you know, or whatever.
Yeah, because what was happening is when we first started out, it was like when you became a director, you picked a team name, you actually had to give it over to corporate, and they had to like approve it, and then you could have your team page. So as soon as everybody hit director, we had all these mini team pages, and like it was like, I mean, we think we have a lot of pages now, and it was like a catastrophe. It was like there are too many of these, and a lot of my leaders, I was like, guys, it's not that I don't want you to have your team page, but most of them were just copy and pasting everything that I was putting out there. And I was like, I just don't want to waste anybody's time. Like, I would rather work with my leaders and come up with collaborative stuff and be like, all right, we all worked on this together. We all gave input. It wasn't just my input, it was everybody's input. So it made it 10 times even better than whatever I was going to put out there. And now it's just there, and it's one thing, and here you go. Here's the magic. You know what I mean? And
I do think it's really good that we consolidate, because I'm on 3 team pages that are here right now, and you all post the same thing, and half of you tag me in it, and it gets irritating, right? Because I don't need to see it 3 times, and most of the time it's stuff that I'm working my business at. Now I know there are people that need that information, like they're not getting the emails, they're working full time and that kind of stuff, but like I saw the email. I don't need to see it 3 times in 3 different pages and being tagged in it in 2. Mm-hmm. So I started leaving all those groups because I'm like, it's too much. And then I feel like I'm missing other stuff. And Facebook is really cracking down on like notifications, and all that's even getting worse. So the more notifications you're getting, the less you're seeing of the stuff that you really need to see. Mm-hmm. So consolidating into one group would be great. So we all are in one place and not in 3 places posting the same thing 3 times throughout the day. And, you know, I think that would be huge. But I also think that we have to look beyond the post. We have to really get to know the people that are on our teams and connect people that are like each other, connect people that are willing to help each other. Like that kind of has to happen behind the scenes. I don't know if you could do that in a group that large. I mean, I'm in Kelly Francis group, and I have notifications turned off, and I just stay in that group so I can go in there and check every now and then, because she has some really good trainings. But I don't get any of the notifications out of her group because it's like a bajillion people in there. There's no way you're going to get to know somebody in that group.
Yeah, it's really hard. You know, she's got like some leader message threads. But I mean, as soon as I became an executive, she even said to us, shut off all your notifications and only go in and check on the time frame that you allow yourself to go check. You should not be like sitting here working and getting a ding and working some more, getting a ding. Right? Like you have to be more specific with your time. But you're right. And it's like, think about that new person that's hopping onto your team and hearing all that noise. You know what I mean? Like my new people do not go into my team page until
I don't add my new people to anybody's page. The only people I only add them to the Jumpstart page that Michelle started. That's it. I don't add any of my. They're in the group chat with my small team. I give them a graphics group and 2 nail fees groups, and that's it. They don't need anything else. So when they start out, they're just trying to learn. They need to be contacting their warm market. They don't need to be in all these groups doing all this other stuff. Like they don't have time for that.
They don't get added until their jump starts, their 90 days is done. And after the 90 days, they go onto my team page. And if I place them, I don't even introduce them to the person that they're being placed with. I tell that person, after the 90 days, I will, but right now she's mine. She enrolled with me, and she deserves to have that. You know what I mean? And I need to build that connection with her for at least the full 90 days. Like that is, to me, that's the right thing to do. It doesn't mean that I'm not going to not place her, and I've told the girl, like, listen, like we have a placement button, and I'm going to, explain it to you, but for the full 90 days, I'm with you, and I'm going to hold your hand for all 90 days until you reach your jump starts, So, and I think that's how I feel. I'm not going to tell anybody else how to do their, I'm not going to tell you how to do your business. but because there is, I think you're absolutely right. There's a lot of noise.
It's distracting, and then they don't do the things that they should be doing when they start their business. So yeah, I mean, I think it's really important.
And I'll share that even as a leader and a high leader, I mean, I agree with that statement as like, why should I, and we finally, that was when one day Margaret and I were just like, why am I posting the same things that you are? This is a freaking waste of my time. When we're now like, I love it. Like we can come together and we can brainstorm more about like, I'm sorry, that was a banging holiday training that we did today. I want to spend my time giving back valuable information to the team than worry about regurgitating information that the company has already given, right?
I think we're going to do it though. We need to just close the group down. I mean, give it 30 days or whatever, tell all the people, all your leaders to contact their individuals, move everybody over. As they move over, have them leave your group so you have an idea of like who's been moved over, and get everybody in one group. And then that way it's all in one place. And then that's when you jump in and say, okay, now let's start personal messaging. Let's start, connecting people with people, because I'm a relationship person. I worked for the Y for a long time, and that's what you do. Like, it's about building relationships. It's about connecting, new exercisers with new exercisers, so they have partners. It's about building those relationships. And it's not going to happen if we just post and pray. It's not going to happen by posting a shout out, which I think that's good. I don't think we shouldn't do that, but I don't think we're going to create relationships by posting.
So how are you saying, like, have like accountability partners, or like have it be like, because I know some leaders, like I said, like, Kelly's thing is huge, right? But Tiffany Curry and I were like, we were chatting, and there was one point where it was like, hey, are you going for this? And she said, yeah. And I'm like, do you want to be like an accountability? Like, we were going for the same thing. So we were kind of like at the same level. So we both needed like a close amount of recruits, a close amount of sales, right? So we could feed off of each other. And we only did it for a small period of time. You know what I mean? Like, and now, I mean, we talk to each other all the time. Like, you don't necessarily have to have like an accountability partner for the whole entire time. Maybe it's just like something that you're going for, or just like you said, to build that relationship with somebody. Is that what you mean? Like something like that? Or
yeah, but I think it needs to happen a little more organically than just saying, hey, let's pick an accountability partner.
Yeah,
right?
No.
That's kind of like that happened. And I sent Carrie a message because her and I were kind of commenting back and forth to each other, and we had chatted a little bit anyway. And I was like, hey, will you be my accountability partner? And she's like, oh no, I can't live up to that. She didn't want to. Like, for real, she did not want to be my accountability partner. She's like, I can't, I don't have, like, she didn't even want to be part of that whole process. And so which I appreciate her honesty. I'm a very like straightforward, blunt person, I don't really have any feelings. So you say whatever you want, I don't care. But now imagine if I had been someone that was already struggling and I did that, and she was like, no.
Right. Yeah.
Now what? Now, like, that could really destroy someone. Mm-hmm. But I think if we, so for instance, I'll give you, for instance, in my VIP group, I have done the secret sale a couple of times, and that getting people in that chat and doing the secret sale kind of opened up my eyes to the interactions that can happen. Right. And so I started doing little things like, I have a baseball mom. I have 3 people that were looking for baseball overlays. I put them all in a group chat, and I was like, hey ladies, you guys are all baseball moms, and you all asked me to look for the, baseball sets for you. They're kind of hard to get right now because it was back before we had the new overlays. But I just want to put you guys all together so I can come back and let you all know at the same time. Well, guess what? Guess who started chatting? My 3 baseball moms. Oh, where does your son play? Oh, how old is he? Oh, what league does he play in? The light bulb's like, oh, this is a good idea. So I've done it a few times with a couple different things. We can do that with our stylists, right? Mm-hmm. We can do that. you know, if we're talking to each other, hey, Michelle, do you have anybody that's blah, blah, blah? Oh yeah, I do. Let's put the two together. Hey, ladies, you guys are both whatever it is, and put them in a group together. Like there's a lot of things that we can do if we're intentional about it.
Mm-hmm. Right. No, I agree with you.
Well, and I even think just like what you said, where I think, what was she saying, where you want it to be like authentic or whatever. But right, because you guys were engaging and commenting on something within the team page, that relationship started. I think we need to see more of that, where I could see, like, you know, I know that Lauren Wahlberg shared something. Girl, I'm getting in her DM box for sure. I'm like, Lauren, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then, you know, Lauren and I will chat about something. And I just wish that more people like did that, you know what I mean? And that would create.
But how do you know that? How do you know it's not happening? Because I can tell you that I've connected with, I can't even tell you how many stylists I've connected with across the country, from Alaska to Hawaii, all over the place, because I commented on something and we ended up private messaging. But nobody's ever going to know that, right? Because
I think Michelle was saying more like sharing stuff on the team page. You know what I mean? Like to say, like you just said, like the secret Santa, the secret sale, yeah, the secret sale. Yeah. Like you should share that. Like that's awesome that happened. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people might be like, oh, I don't know if I can do that secret sale thing. Like, but like it sounds like you had some major success with it.
I've had some major success since I silenced the noise. I've had a lot of major success. My VIP group went from, I'm just straight up honest with you. In February, I was going to quit. I was done with this crap. Like I had enough. I was feeling a lot of negativity. And a lot of like, I was ready to quit. And I was like, no, what the heck, man? I know I can do this. So I started silencing the noise. That's kind of where it started for me. I got out of some of the chats. I got off of some of the pages. And I mean, the Elfie pages that are negative, like there's some negative noise out there, right? So I got away from all of that. That's kind of where it started for me. And I turned in and focused on creating relationships. And since I did that, since I have been intentional, since I stepped outside of the post and pray method, I still post because I stepped outside of that and started doing the other things. Now the interactions are happening on my page in my VIP group. But that wasn't going to happen without me creating those relationships, right? So Michelle and I chat. And because Michelle and I chat, I try to be as active as possible on her page because I know how much it means to her.
Yeah.
I try to be as active as I can. Because, but that didn't happen because of something that happened on the page. That happened because we went behind the scenes and chatted. And so it's like, we're like chicken or the egg, right? We want interactive posts that get people to interact so they'll chat privately. But how do you get people to interact if they're not? It's like the chicken, you know, the chicken or the egg. I think that we could make it happen. I think both things need to happen. I think we need to definitely do more personal stuff, but I also think that we need to connect people if we're going to foster relationships. And it doesn't have to be in a chat. We can connect people on the group page, right? You can comment, hey, Lacey, weren't you just talking about this? Look at this, you know, and try to get people to connect that way. But this, like, what I see when someone see a good idea, they tag their people in it, right? How many of you, when you get tagged in something, really go and look into it?
I guess it would have to be something if I felt like it was, you know, I think I would take a look at it. And if I felt like if it was worth my time, then I would look at it. But
I look at a lot of stuff, and some stuff I even save. So how much stuff do I actually go and not much?
Yeah, but so you're saying like the chicken and the egg. So it's like, so you're saying like we need to do both. Like, and I feel like I look at it and I say, yeah, like if we want interaction on the team page, like Michelle and I have come together. I mean, I've noticed a difference. I don't know if you guys have, but you know, we came up with like the recruiting blitz. We came up with a booking blitz, right? We're coming up with we're creating value and content for our team. right? Because we're getting rid of the noise, meaning go to one team page, right? And add more value and content. Like, let's give some major value to our stylists. Now, I reach out to my leaders and a couple other people, but I mean, I've got a significant amount of people on my team that I cannot physically touch every single person. But when I talk to my leaders, I will say, tell me about your team. Who's doing what? And when I hear somebody say, I don't know what she's doing, it's not a she, it's the person's name. Michelle is doing this, or I haven't reached out to Michelle, right? They shouldn't just be a number on your team page. They are absolutely a person, and you should know what that person is doing. Every single Sunday,
I agree with that 100%.
What's that?
I agree with that 100%. That is what has changed the course of my business. Not only the course of my business, not that I'm making all this much more money than I was a year ago, but I am in a better place. I feel better about my business. I feel better about my team. My team feels better about their business. Right. So yeah, that absolutely has to happen. But you guys can't do it all, right? You can't. We all have to do it.
Hence, right, the leaders and then down and then down. Right?
Yeah. But like my personally enrolled and my leaders, I have a Trello board with everybody's Facebook Messenger on it. And I usually do it on Sunday. So now they probably know, like, oh my God, Margaret every Sunday is reaching out to me. But I'm being intentional in my business, and I want to make sure that I'm touching those people, right?
That's what you guys are asking us to do this stuff, right? So because if we're commenting on the page, the people we recruited will see us active in the page, and then they'll get more active in the page, and
they're not going to do it if their leader or somebody that they know, unless they're a very confident person, I mean, are going to react to that, right? Everybody's a different personality, but you could really get somebody who's like really kind of scared, or like Diane, you kind of said, oh, I didn't know you could put that in the team page. And I'm like, what? Yeah, of course, right? But you don't know unless you have that conversation with the person, you know? So,
I totally would have done one of my wine glass posts in the team page last year.
Exactly. You know?
I did it every Friday. Why not?
Yeah. I know.
Hey, you have wine Fridays?
Yeah.
I did. Every Friday through the pandemic, I toasted my just on my personal page.
That I do a weekly staff meeting with myself every Friday at the local winery.
Hey, look at that. Boom. We just connected 2 more people just like that.
Love the wine.
Yeah. Can I be part of your staff meeting?
My wine. It's my weekly staff meeting. Yes. With myself, because I am my staff. So I have to have a meeting with myself. Every Friday I post that. I post it in my VIP group and on my personal page.
Oh my God, I love that. I got to do that.
Hello.
I did it in my VIP sometimes. I started to think I needed something different. And then I kind of got tired of trying to check that box every week. So now I do it like once a month.
Well, I physically go to the local winery. So it's kind of like when you get there, you know, the first thing you do is, and the same thing, like that's how I survived the pandemic. Because I was flying. I was flight attendant with Heather, not with Heather, but with Heather, pre-COVID. And all of a sudden I was sitting at home by myself. Like after 3 weeks, I thought I was going to go crazy. I need to go outside and play. And so my husband was like, let's go to the winery. And so we started, and I started posting on my Facebook page, and then it got other people to come. And next thing you know, so we have this huge group of people that every Friday we meet there at 3:00, and whoever comes, you know, sometimes there's 4, sometimes there's 20, but yeah, that's like, so just that created a community with people I never met before that lived in the community, because I was checking in at the winery, and it started a thing. And like that, I made friends just doing that, just posting that.
I love it.
Yeah.
And then I started doing it in my VIP group. Yeah. And now I do it in my VIP group, my staff meeting. And guess what? Now my VIPs, whenever they're having a drink, doesn't matter if it's Friday, they post, I'm having a staff meeting. It started a whole thing.
That's so funny. Yeah. I have a lot of people message me and are like, I love your posts.
Weekly staff meeting. You can all use it.
Yeah, exactly.
My kind of staff meeting.
But this is awesome though. I am so happy that you guys hopped on. I'm so happy that you're talking because we don't know what everybody is feeling, what their thoughts are until you express them. And believe me, I read the 4 agreements. I don't take things personal. I take them and I say, that's awesome. How can we make things better? Right? Like, that's how I roll. Like if somebody's like, I don't think this is like, I don't even notice that. And I hear that a lot, then I'm going to pivot and do something else. But we only get better like doing this, is having conversation. You know what I mean? So
mark your calendars for the 21st. I think that's it, wasn't it?
Yeah. So November 21st is the next leader call. It's at 10 a.m. because we're trying to give people like, you know, I know there's some people who work nights and stuff like that. So we're just trying to give a little, you know, variety of different
times. So we might sprinkle them around just so everybody gets a chance to hop on and, you know, and talk.
Mm-hmm. And to like the Zoom party for Friendsgiving is on the 18th if you BQ by the 15th, and it's going to be really fun. So we'd love to see all you guys on there.
Cool.
I just looked, Michelle, we had live on the team page for tomorrow at noon.
Oh, we were just early.
We were early. Oops. Oopsie. Oopsie.
It was just so good. We couldn't wait to share it. I'm excited about the holidays, and I'm excited that Color Street is offering things weekly. Like that just makes our lives, and think about the people that don't know what to do, their lives so much easier.
Yeah. And guys, any questions, comments, concerns, or anything, just jump into our DMs. Like I said, we don't take things personal. We want to make the team rocking. Like we want to come together as a community. And I think it starts at the top where the leaders are, and it's going to trickle its way down. You know what I mean? So we need you guys. Like we want you guys. We want to, we want to do this all together. So
listen, Michelle knows I'm here to help whatever you need. And like Color Street is kind of my thing. So like, I don't have a full-time job. So if you need something, I'm here, like for real. Awesome. If I can't do it, I'll say I can't do it.
So I do want to ask, what is your name since?
Love Light.
Oh, I can't see you, but I loved your,
because I have the light in the background. I had so much going on tonight. I almost didn't make it. I feel bad. I was late. I was like, I'm just going to get on late, whatever I missed.
I loved your training on the check. Was it the check-in method?
Oh, VIP. Yes. That started my explosion. I did that. Then we had the spring launch. Then I did Nailing America, which was amazing. Then I did Christmas in July. Then I did birthday month celebration. My VIP group went from 90 something to I'm sitting at 347 right now.
Awesome.
There you go, girl.
I've done a lot of parties. All of my sales have been out of my VIP group. I maybe do a party a month because I don't know, I'm sucking at parties. But you know what? I'm getting new customers and adding people to my VIP group other ways. So
listen, you got to pivot. You got to figure out what's working.
Yeah.
You're getting it done. You're getting it done. That's awesome.
I want director so freaking bad. You don't know. So bad. It's coming.
Oh, you'll get it. What is I'll reach out to you, Lovely. I would love to hear what was the
Nailing America.
Nailing America. Yeah, I'll have to.
I feel like that wouldn't be a good first event. I had to create relationships with my people first. And then, because I basically wanted to send a sample to every state.
Oh, you wanted to get the all the states type
all
of thing.
The states, yeah. And my VIPs, I sent 350 samples in April.
Awesome. Because amazing. I have a lot of girls who just have trouble getting parties and can't get, like their groups just aren't growing, they're doing the posting and praying. And I'm like, you need to reach out.
I have ideas.
Do a booking blitz and get
ideas.
Oh my God. I've had,
I have ideas.
I told them all to get on that booking blitz, do the booking blitz.
Diane, we will talk offline because I have ideas. Because I'm telling you, I spent the last year nurturing my VIP group, and I did so many things. I have ideas. I have a whole list written down. I'm like, when is our planner coming out? Because I'm dying. I'm ready.
We're gonna hear something, I think, by the end of the week, right? We're gonna hear some details by the end of the week.
It's coming. It's coming. But granted, they always say that, but I
know. I think it's close.
I think
I have a pile of papers on my desk. I need a planner.
Because I have I've been doing parties, and I grow my group, but my girls on my team so they need
parties.
But they
need parties, but if they can't get the parties, they need something else. So
they need, and they need to go back into their VIP group. If their VIP group is dead, like mine was, I have ideas, Diane. You and me.
All right, but I think we should
awesome
because that could be like a whole, like we can do a training thing or whatever. So I think we should nip it there because because what she did was a lot, and it worked, and it was very successful. So maybe
it was like a year's worth of work. Like literally every other month, I did something huge in my VIP group. It took me a year.
Yeah, but that's the whole process.
See, that's good. That might even be something for January, like ideas to rock your VIP group all year long.
Next year, that's what I'm doing with my team right now. We're planning out next year.
And I'll tell you that's the first thing I did was when I went through my VIP group and over a year ago and just started messaging everybody. That's when my group became active. And so when I saw your ABC like check-in method, I was like, I'm doing that. And I did it, but then I fell off with some of the letters with commenting, getting everybody, but it's okay because but anyway,
but you started.
Awesome.
You started.
Yeah. So let's definitely revisit that. And then I would also love just everyone, if you can make it on the 21st, and we'll double check and make sure, Margaret, you and I, it's the date is right on the thing. But
what is it? The 21st at what time?
I think
10 a.m. 10 a.m.
Yeah.
Wait, I'll go ahead and say I know for a fact that I won't be here. I'll be in a cavern, so definitely not going to be accessible.
Wait, did you say a cabin or
a cavern?
Cavern.
T.
Cavern, like underground cavern.
Like a cave type of thing.
Oh.
Okay.
So I won't be accessible that day. Sorry.
I'm going in a cave. I'm going to go in a cave that day.
I'm going in a cave for the day. Don't mind me.
That's an interesting thing.
Family reunion.
Nice.
In a cave.
In a cave. Whoa. You going
no cell phone service.
Yeah, they want to go see the second largest cavernous lake or something in the world.
Oh my
so
God.
we're going down.
Oh, that is super interesting.
Yeah, we can't wait to hear it.
I know.
No problem. I'll get stories later if I make it out.
Too funny.
Thank you guys.
Bye,
it was so great to come together. Yeah, and I'm super excited for what's ahead. I hope you guys are too.
I am. Thank you. Have a good night,
guys.
Have a great night.